day, and welcome to X News Channel. I'm Stephanie Anamu, bringing you today's top story from Nigeria. A scathing report by the Take It Back movement, a Nigerian civil society group, has reignited national and international concern over the worsening insecurity in Nigeria's Middle Belt, accusing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration of prioritizing silencing critics over addressing the humanitarian crisis. The statement, posted on X at 20:07 UTC on May 30th, 2025, comes amid mounting casualties and displacement caused by relentless attacks from armed groups, including newly emerged terrorist factions like Lakurawa and Mamuda. The Take It Back movement statement references a recent Amnesty International report titled Mounting Death Toll and Looming: Humanitarian Crisis Amid Unchecked Attacks by Armed Groups, which details the catastrophic scale of violence in the Middle Belt. According to the report, over 450,000 people in Benue State and 65,000 in Plateau State have been forcibly displaced, with many reduced to begging after losing their homes, farmlands, and livelihoods. The report further notes that 672 villages across Benue, Borno, Katsina, Sokoto, Plateau, and Zamfara states have been attacked and sacked by gunmen since Tinubu took office in 2023. Benue State alone has recorded 6,896 deaths, with Plateau following at 2,630 over the same period. Recent attacks underscore the urgency of the crisis. On May 28, 2025, The Guardian reported that 42 people were killed in Benue State over 2 days, with 10 fatalities in the villages of Tiolaha and St. Ubiam on Saturday, followed by 32 more in Ahume and Ondona villages the next day. Local official Victor Omnin, chairman of Guer West Local Government Area, described the situation as pathetic, noting that recovery efforts were still underway to retrieve bodies. A Catholic priest was also shot during the attacks and remains in critical but stable condition, according to the office of Benue Governor Hyacinth Yermem Aliyah. The Take It Back movement, led by National Coordinator Sanyalu Juwan, criticized the Tinubu administration for its failure to curb the violence, pointing to the rise of new terrorist groups like Lakurawa in Sokoto and Kebbi states and Mamuda in Kwara State. Lakurawa, declared a terrorist organization by the Nigerian government in January 2025, has been linked to jihadist factions in Mali and Niger, according to a BBC report. The group is notorious for attacks on communities, kidnapping for ransom, and enforcing strict rules such as flogging people for listening to music. Amnesty International's findings paint a grim picture of systemic failures, accusing Nigerian security forces of utterly shameful inaction in protecting villagers from predictable attacks. The organization estimates that Nigeria now hosts over 2 million internally displaced persons, IDPs, with a 2020 statement noting that intercommunal violence and banditry had claimed 1,126 lives by August of that year alone. The Middle Belt's violence, often between Muslim Fulani herders and Christian farmers, has deep-rooted ethnic and religious dimensions, further complicating resolution efforts. In response to the escalating crisis, traditional leaders in Benue, including the Tortiv, His Royal Majesty Prof. James Iorsua Ayatza, and the Oshidoma, His Royal Majesty Chief John Elegwu Odogbo, issued a 14-day ultimatum for herders to vacate the state, a move reflecting local frustration with the government's inaction. However, the Tinubu administration's response has drawn sharp criticism. The National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, dismissed Amnesty International's report as misleading and invited the organization to a meeting to review its findings, a move the Take It Back movement condemned as blatant intimidation. Sanyalu Juwan stated, "The government of Tinubu should prioritize rescuing the terror-ravaged communities rather than attacking." Critics and civil society organizations like Amnesty International, calling for an end to the bloodletting in the country. The controversy has sparked broader debate about governance and accountability in Nigeria. Amnesty International's broader work on human rights in the country highlights ongoing violations, including the government's failure to investigate the killing of 12 protesters in Lagos in October 2020 and the introduction of the Counter-Subversion Bill in July 2024. Which aimed to penalize citizens for criticizing leaders or failing to recite the national anthem. A 2023 Amnesty report also documented 555 deaths from mob violence between 2012 and 2023, underscoring the pervasive insecurity. As the death toll rises and the humanitarian crisis deepens, pressure is mounting on the Tinubu administration to shift focus from suppressing dissent to addressing the root causes of violence. With millions displaced and entire communities destroyed, Nigerians and the global community are watching closely to see whether the government will take meaningful action to end the bloodshed in the Middle Belt, or continue to deflect blame amid a rapidly deteriorating situation. That's it for now on X News Channel. Stay tuned for more updates, and thank you for watching.